that the conditions for farm workers in wages all across the country are dismal, that they're bad, that this is a quasi-slave labor force that deserves closer scrutiny in the corporate food regime. And so they are trying to shift this image, saying that Tacoma Berry farm owners care about their community, they care about their workers. This is not a labor dispute. This is a cultural miscommunication that they want to fix. And they were backed up by quite a few members of the religious community in Skagit County. So since then, the negotiations have gotten worse, and the company and their consultants have refused to shift to labor negotiations. And now they've brought in, as of 2 sessions ago, they brought in a high-priced labor lawyer, or I shouldn't say labor lawyer, high-priced corporate attorney that deals with labor issues. So it's been a tough road for the committee. I think it's hard for Tacoma Berry Farms, as it is for many corporate agricultural corporations, to understand that workers have their own leadership, that workers understand the industry, that workers know how best to do the work, and that they need to have a voice at work to not only improve farm workers' families' lives, but actually to improve the corporation's bottom line if they listen to the workers. As the workers have been saying, if you add up the money that they're paying for the mediator that they hired at over $1,200 a day, to what they're paying this corporate attorney, to what they're paying, what we see now is a total of 4 consultants. There's 2 consultants from Northern California, a union busting firm in Northern California, another local consultant that they hired, very disreputable person in Washington State, and then the public relations person. That if they added up all the money they're paying for these consultants, they could have raised their wages, saved themselves a lot of pain, if they would just sit down and listen to the workers and work with them face to face, the owners and their own workforce. And I think that this is the bottom line for Familias Unidas por la Justicia, Families United for Justice. This community, which is families, women and children, have organized themselves into their own organization, which is morphing into something more solid with values and principles linked to labor, community, cultural heritage, and their own indigenous ways of communicating. Because the majority of these workers are Mixteco and Triqui from Oaxaca, Mexico. And they are using their own history, their own culture, their own language, and their own ways of communicating and organizing in community groups and familial groups to organize themselves for justice. And I think this is a very powerful movement that's happening in Burlington that needs to be supported by the community, including the labor community, social justice, and religious communities, because they're leading themselves and they are developing new ways of community organizing and labor organizing that we need to support. We need to support and help grow, because this could be the answer to a better food system. I said could be, I think it is the answer. And if we let it grow and if we support it, this might be what we've been looking for when we're talking about fair trade, a healthy food system, and healthy labor force all across America.